Schneider in P27, Giorgio Sorelli in P28, Daniel Biral in P29, and Attila Molnar in P30.
It's one of those cars that's had, and there's a spin there. But yeah, that Sim Apex car is one of the cars that has had a bit of an interesting day. As the Team Hardline car is without a rear wing, so I predict we'll see a code 8 in a minute here, George.
Yeah, I'd imagine we will. The damage obviously very clear on Daniel Biral's car. Team Hardline, certainly hard lines for that team. No rear wing on the car now, and the damage obviously evident. But I just wanted to talk about James Huber as well, who's just come into the pit. And bear in mind, he's got a penalty. Now, if there's a penalty that has to be allocated, that's a very heavy crash by Daniel Biral. And very lucky not to actually tag another car on the way up. But having a penalty applied, that's obviously an added complication to the end of this race. Now, bear in mind, Drillers Esports challenging Epic RSR. Just how key are penalties coming down to the final stages of a race? Certainly the final hour.
In the final hour, this is now the crunch time. This is where you need everything to be perfect. All the preparation and everything has come up to this point. You've all been working early on in the race. You know, you can work on that lap time. You have the time to get back up there, but you know, there was contact between Andrea Zampini there in the glass sim racing car. Hopefully he's not got too much damage.
This is Goncalo Costa, who's currently in P3, losing it out of what looked to be the final left after Blanchimont. And oh my word, a very, very heavy incident. Very heavy indeed. I would not be surprised if there's some heavy damage there on Goncalo Costa's car. I'm not quite sure who he collided with, but he's in P3 of the LMP2 race, and I can't imagine his steering wheel's facing a straightforward fashion right now.
I can quite imagine he's currently got his arms the wrong way around completely. He's probably just got 180 degrees of lock, and that was a huge smash into his right-hand side. There's no point pitting at this point. The gap to Sim Apex behind is too small. I think he's going to have to try and grin and bear it and carry on. Here's Daniel Biral, who just smashed into, just unlucky, just tried to thread the needle instead of hitting the brakes, which would have been the sensible thing to do. And unfortunately, just the car poked out at the last minute. Unfortunately for him.
027 Racing Team in P25, Attila Molnar in P26, Daniel Biral was finishing in P28, Edgar Derick in P29, Levente.